there's so much to talk about. So we're going to start with the current technology. So the current state of us getting to Mars. Now, funny story. The Saturn V, which got banned from the moon, that rocket was designed to go to Mars. The designer actually built it, overbuilt it to get to Mars. And well, we barely got to the moon. It was super janky. But now we have new technologies, and we've been to Mars. How many times? 3 times. That current mission. Uh, we have SpaceX with reusability, um, reusing uh, orbital size class rocket boosters. What what's another? We have a current mission in the InSight. I know it's Mars Rover 2020 by NASA, and okay, NASA's a piece of trash. All right, and this is
Whoa, whoa.
Ooh,
yeah,
we're getting deep now.
it's gonna get real. Yeah, NASA's been wasting so much money. They've all right. They already get 0.5% of the government's money, and even though that seems small, that is a lot. And we've, as Elon Musk said, we're having this negative slope. It went from Mars, or not Mars, not yet. We had the Saturn V, we went to the moon. And then we've had the International Space Station. And now in America, we're not launching anything. What happened? See that negative slope from just negative slope. So what happened? Well, NASA, because NASA's government ran, they only get fixed funding, but that funding is enough to do what SpaceX is. They've just been buying unnecessary products. I was reading Elon's book and it said uh, you could buy this part for $150,000.
Mm-hmm.
Elon laughed and said, "You have $1,000 to go make it work." He's This poor guy spent 12, I think 12 years, something like that, working very hard, and it cost only $500 to make. So $150,000 is drastically different with $500. NASA's just been wasting money. That's why we haven't been back to Mars. There we go.
But I think you have to consider the fact that it's hard to get to Mars. It takes years to
yes.
get to Mars. So, maybe we have the money to do it, and maybe we have enough people hired and the personnel and the technology, but would we rather save up or buy these products that we might not necessarily need now but might need later? It depends on, I think it really just depends on if they're unnecessary, are they just unnecessary now? We're going to use them in the future. But I think NASA is getting to the point where, going to the moon seemed like going to Mars now, But once we got past that and we were able to get there, and now we've been to the moon, we've been to all these places, we still just don't know enough, I don't think. And I think that they're kind of weary of going is my idea of it. They're just kind of a little concerned about is it really worth it to send another thing after another thing there? So maybe they're trying to they are government running, but maybe they're trying to kind of not feel the pressure of the government pushing them to go to Mars immediately and make it inhabitable and stuff like that.
Yeah, the whole reason Mars became a whole new thing was Elon said, "Let's go." Everyone was like, "Hey, let's go." I got his shirt from the SpaceX store. This guy's he's selling Mars.
Yeah.
And his whole plan is that why stay on Earth? We can need. There's two. All right, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. There's two fates of humanity. Either we stay on this planet and we become extinct, or we become multiplanetary species.
The reason why the Earth is polluted and disgusting is because of us. Earth will go
Right.
on and live on. It's only, like you said, like the human population just dies out. Like that's how it's going to happen. But we're already so overpopulated. So this is the way that I think of it. Our Earth is only made to house 500 million people. We currently have 7.6 billion people and counting. It's 100% unreasonable, and some people are doing something about it, but they're getting a lot of backlash, like China, with their, laws on like you can only have one kid now,
Right.
it's 2 kids. One reason that we're all at our homes right now is because China was overpopulated. They didn't have enough to eat. So part of it was they started eating bats, and that's how this virus came to be. But when you think of us going to another planet, my idea is that we're just going to ruin another planet, poison another planet. And who knows if Mars is even inhabitable? They found water on it years and years ago, okay, but does it have an atmosphere like Earth? Is it capable of growing things? Who wants to live in a gigantic dome on top of a planet? There's a Simpsons, in the Simpsons movie, I'm going to bring this up. I like the Simpsons, okay? In the Simpsons movie, there was this like crazy virus something, I don't know, something was happening. And the water was getting polluted, like really bad. And so they said, nobody can dump anything in this lake or this pond anymore. But then somebody did, Homer Simpson, and it was a ton of pig crap. So what they did was they put a gigantic dome around that town, around that lake and everything like that. So everybody was enclosed in. And I'm sorry to say, but that's how life would be on Mars. We would all be enclosed in because we'd have to build our own atmosphere. And I would love to live on Mars. I think that's so cool. Like going to another planet and getting to live there, that blows my mind. That's amazing. Think of all the things we could develop and all the new things that we would find out about space. But then again, you have to think of the temperature and this and that. And can we stand it,
Right.
So to me, we just seem like those.
Too many steps.
Yeah, like we just seem like those aliens that hop from planet to planet trying to
Well,
conquer everything.
Like that one movie, I forgot what it's called, but it was about these aliens going on to another planet because they're running from some other aliens destroying a planet. I forgot the name of it, but
it's the purple aliens, the little purple ones.
like
I think it's called Home.
Home, yeah.
like we can't be just sitting here hopping from planet to planet every time everything gets polluted up and stuff, because we're just going to be there. But the idea of if we were to create like a colony on Mars for scientific reasons, so kind of like what I forgot what the movie, it's called Space Between. It's supposed to be a sci-fi romance, but you look at the science part of it. They created a colony and scientists go there for a 5-year range. And it kind of talks about that. If we were to do Mars like that, how we're only having scientists go there and they're just kind of testing, seeing, can we grow a tree on Mars? Like doing testing like that instead of just moving there just to live there and to like create life on there. I think that would be a lot more of a better idea.
Yeah, I don't think we should go in to this idea with the mindset of this is going to be our new home. Like everyone's going to live here. Yeah. I think we should split it in half. Half people go to Mars, half people don't. Half of these people are not going to want to go to Mars anyway. Some older people that are really kind of weary about it might not want to go. I know that's stereotypical of being gay, but and then you have, I want to say like all these young new scientists who like think that's awesome. Like Brandon is a fantastic example. He's passionate about it. He really likes it. Like that seems like an ultimate dream for Brandon. Like he's that half of the population that would adore to go. Right. If Mars is inhabitable and it works, heck yeah. Like I think that's really great for America and the world and stuff like that. So
Right.
But then we have the issue of who owns this land. When America was being claimed as, land by everyone in the freaking world, there was a lot of fights. It brought a lot of war. And I'm wondering if the same thing is going to happen on Earth about Mars.
I will say this. I do think Mars will be a a new civilization in a way. This isn't going to be a free for all kind of a. This isn't just new land. I think this is going to be a planned idea, kind of like a mindset, being like, we're here for a reason. Let's not screw it up,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's the whole mindset coming into Mars, being we messed up our first planet. Let's try not to do that again. Uh, and the plan it kind of works, but then you look at every other country ever, and you're like, wow, we're pretty bad at doing goals. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna not pollute so much, and then now you have overpopulation, which
Yeah.
leads to more factories because you need to feed them, and that means more pollution. So it's a catch-22. And I will say this for inhabitants. Right now, Mars is not habitable. Whack. But the whole idea is so humans are pretty good at adding extra CO2 in the air, right?
Yeah, no joke. Yeah.
So the whole plan is just to do whatever we're doing here on Mars, and apparently that would work, and that would mean the atmosphere will become a little bit thicker, the water will come up, and it'll become like Earth, more of a what's that word? Habitable. That's the best thing I got right now. Habitable planet for us. But yeah, it right now it's a little challenging, and we shouldn't have any humans go there yet. But robots should just do all the work, build our home, and then we'll just move in. That's what I'm thinking on the inhabitants. Uh, what do you guys think? This is a good one. Government.
Don't even
The
get me
first
started.
government on Mars.
That's going to be a hard one. Like, because you think of all the different nations we have now. We have monarchies, we have democracies. There's a couple of dictatorships.
Capitalist, communist, what's up,
You know how. That's why again, I think that if we're gonna have people inhabiting Mars, it should be scientists and for research reasons, not to live there. Like, we should deal with what we did to ourselves on Earth and try to fix it ourselves than to completely go to another place and possibly make the other place worse than what we've done to Earth.
I think that if I was in charge of this, which is never going to happen, I wish it would. But if I was in charge of this, I would want everyone to go in on, like, when we go to Mars and stuff like that. I would want everyone to go in with the mindset of, this is a new planet that we're going to inhabit, and it's going to be for everyone. And not everyone has to be equal necessarily, but everyone has to, like, just understand that if we bring in these problems, these earthly problems that we have to Mars, we're just going to want to move to another planet. We're just going to want to go somewhere else. We're not going to like it. So I think everyone just needs to have an overall understanding that it's a new planet. It's amazing that we have this opportunity. Let's not throw it in the trash can like we did Earth.
I read a meme the other day. It was communism works because when we go to Mars, it'll be the only government there. And someone commented, it already is the dry, deserted, red wasteland.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. But on the International Space Station, it's the same thing. It's a scientific way of government. When the Russians didn't have any food, only then the U.S. Astronauts would give them some rations. It wasn't communism where everyone's food. It was just my food, but you're human. I'm gonna give you some. There's no, this is my land. It's ours, which sounds like socialism, which kind of is. but there's no point. If it's for scientific reason, not economic gain. You know what I mean? Scientific gain, which
If we could,
changes the whole track. But
I wonder if we could think of the land, because when you go back to American history of how the Native Americans treated their land as no one owned the land. Everyone had to work together to use the land to get what they needed out of it. If we were to treat Mars like that, I think there wouldn't be any conflicts of whose land this is, because we're all under the same mindset of no one owns this land. No one owns this land, and everyone owns this land. It's public property, and that we all need to use this land and work together to get what we need and to do the research or plant that tree. It's for everyone, not just one person. It's for everyone and no one.
Right. Very, very well said. Everyone's no one. What do you guys? I was thinking about this a long time ago. Mars is good. If it does become habitable, it's just going to become a Silicon Valley of scientists and engineers, because you got low gravity. It's half the size of Earth, and low atmosphere, which is going to make it perfect for any new scientist. It's like a playground.
Honestly,
It's a new playground for all these young scientists trying to build new things, which I think is pretty awesome. You guys think? What do you guys think Mars would be if compared to our solar system? What do you think Mars would be labeled as? Like Earth is home, and what do you think? I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. So it's weird thinking. I thought Mars would just be a sandbox, or cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought it would just, you know what I mean? It was like,
I think it would be kind of crappy of America to do this, but I really want it to happen. I want America to go to Mars, not tell anyone, inhabit Mars to a degree, like scientists, like stuff like that. Inhabit Mars, do our research, make it inhabitable, maybe send like a couple people there, like I'm talking like 1,000, but my problem is if it takes years to get there, so somebody's on a ship for, I think it's like 3 years to get there, depending on the rocket ship size and yada yada yada, whatever. It takes roughly 3 years to get there if you have
where did you find that? Where did you?
I have no idea. I was I can't remember.
Somewhere where it says like
It's roughly between
like
6 to 12 months.
6 to 12 months.
I
Okay,
saw
so
where
it
it was
takes
like
about a
12
year.
months
3
because
years is a little bit different from 6 to 12 months.
Okay, but if you have like, so my thing
I
is,
don't
if
think
it
I could
takes-
live on a rocket ship or space shuttle, whatever we want to call it, for 3 years. Like you're living in zero gravity for 3 years just to get to a place that had.
Like
Yeah.
it was probably just like an old article that I read that on, and it was like really old, and they were like, it takes 3 years to get here, but now we have the technology to get there faster, I guess. But yeah, so okay, so if it takes 6 months to a year, and you're slowly starting to run out of food, if you do not tell someone 6 months ahead of time, then you're gone with the wind. Like, what you gonna eat,
Wait. So you're saying that you're
Like
screwed.
food supplies. Yeah.
You're saying, all right, getting there is our problem. It's one of the.
No, I don't think getting there is a problem. I think I would adore being on a spaceship for 6 months. That'd be the coolest thing. Like, as long as I liked everyone else.
Yeah, but you also gotta.
But the food is the
Once
problem.
you get there, I'm pretty sure that like any company that knows what's going on is going to start sending shipments of food and supplies right after you go. So that way, by the time you get there, lo and behold,
Right.
Yeah, but I'm
say a
saying,
month
like-
later, you got shipment
On
of
this ship
food
is what.
and supplies.
But I'm saying, like, once you've been there for like let's say 10 years, like we've been on Mars for 10 years now, it's going good, it's going strong, and somebody slips the heck up and they overestimate how much food you guys have in storage, maybe we have plants by then, and like I guess that's okay or good.
Oh, okay.
But like I'm
Okay.
saying, like once you've been there for a while, and somebody says, "Oh yeah, we'll be good for another 6 months. You don't need to send anything or anything like that." Like probably like earlier than 10 years, you know, like
Right.
like a couple, like maybe a year or two into it, and we're learning like okay, like we're learning all this stuff, and the scientists are so busy with that they're like, "Oh crap, we're out of food, guys," and it'll take another
Right.
6 months to a year to get it there. And maybe
Right.
we don't have plants by then and all that stuff like growing and like functioning. So that would be my worry of running out of food or overestimating how much we have left. So, but I'm sure you're right, Tiffany, that like a ton of like the government and like a ton of like Elon Musk, you know, he's gonna invest in like helping in some way. Or Elon Musk's gonna be there. We already know that. So we know he's not gonna go.
Oh yeah. After a month.
Yeah.